Hello, and welcome to this segment of my podcast series, Brownsville, the Way We Were. I'm going to get into a particular edition here that I've been wanting to do for quite some time. It really centers on a soft spot in our hearts. I say our hearts because those of us that grew up here on the lower Rio Grande Valley border had a particular period in their lives, and I say of my generation, that was a rite of passage, and we called that Matamoros. The Zona Rosa that we had there was right across the old bridge. There were a whole gaggle of clubs and restaurants right there in that zone, right? And it was beautiful. It was a period that I wouldn't trade for anything in the world. I'm going to start by an interview that I had with Ricky Manitou. This is the third of the series of interviews. I had to chop it up into three sections because there were three very interesting subject matters that we covered. Ricky and I had, I guess even before I got out of college, when I was in high school, senior year in high school, junior in high school, and then after I got out of college, I was in and out of this part of the country, and that's where Ricky Manitou and I unleashed our reign of terror on the clubs there in Matamoros. And I say reign of terror, it was very benign. It really was. I mean, occasionally we would get in a fight, but it was always for the honor of a lady. But this little interview is going to hit upon some of our favorite spots that we frequented, that we haunted during those particular days.
Yeah, Grandma had a charge account.
Yeah.
I hit it big time.
You had the other one you had was First Street Bakery, First Street Grocery and Bakery. Remember on the corner there?
Yeah.
So we come back from Matamoros, and you would we got the hungries, and so we would go over there and get the munchies from that place at like 6 o'clock in the morning, just struggling back from the bread. Yeah. Those days at the Zona Rosa were quite remarkable too. Remember the clubs that were over there?
No,
that's a Zona Rosa. You got the different outfit.
Oh.
Yeah, Zona Rosa, Chilos, Mustang, all that.
Yeah.
And then they had the Popeyes. First had that.
Yeah.
I almost got killed in that place.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I always threw a table and went underneath the table and get bullets and be coming through all over.
No, but who almost killed you was Lisandro.
Lisandro?
Yeah.
The owner of the
Yep, indeed. Okay, now get this. What happened was Leslie Kowalski, she was Fox, right?
Yeah.
Well, he had a scheme. And I finally caught on at the end of it. I said, oh no, we've been taken. Because he sent all kinds of drinks over to the table, so we were drinking Singapore slings. Remember that? And the waiter there was joking. And so he got her drunk, got me drunk, and then this cage, like the Charlies could call it the beard posse, the drunk tank cage, iron bars. Well, they put that in the middle of the dance floor, and they got Leslie, and they put her in there, and they played Wild Thing, and she was swinging that auburn hair around that, and I saw them. Oh, I've been made a fool of. And so I went behind I went to the bar. I said, Singapore Sling? He said, yep. And I threw it in his face. He's a black belt. And he came out, and my buddy said, hey, you can't get out of here. So they put me out the front door. Well, he ran around, and he met me at the front, and he murdered me.
He was part of the magnet too.
Yeah. Shoot, man.
And his older brother was.
Yeah.
Was more.
I remember his father. I remember his father used to wear that trench coat behind the bar and looked like a godfather. Yeah. And then we had Benecancias, Chilos, and then Rinos. Remember? Right around from they had Zorro Azul. That was David George's thing.
Yeah.
And then they had Tio Nacho's.
Tio Nacho's was
I love that place. Best
really good
tacos.
food.
Best tacos.
Nacho, make it
Yeah. Oh, totally good.
incredible.
And then Reno's had a place that was over on this side of the main drag. Then he had a little place over on this side of the main drag. He had his Christmas lights up there forever. Remember that? Yeah. And Mago, he was a magician.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He was a hell of a, yeah. He was class, dude. Yeah, he had a real small place, though.
Yeah, either one of them, the two of them, they were all just little boxes. That was probably the biggest. This right here, that was it. Yeah. And then of course they had the La Tumba and Jesse's. Kilos, yeah.
And then, of course, U.S. bar. The
U.S. Oh man, would I give the
uh,
Texas and the U.S.
and of course the drive-in. And
Those are
Daniels, and then of course the other, I think the one, it was on the south end of town on 6th Street.
Oh, that was Mocambos.
Huh?
Mocambos.
No, that was a seafood, but there was a cabrito, norteños
Yeah.
down in downtown.
Yeah. Oh, I know you're talking about out further.
Further out.
Yeah.
I knew that there were real chavos.
Yeah.
They had,
Oh, they had the coleando and all that. The
had-
pouring and Yeah.
yeah, there were super chavos. Las Portales.
Portales, of course. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Portales.
Great place. Great. Yeah, that's it. Portales. And they bring you a little hibachi in the center of the table.
Right. And when we come back from hunting, we would bring our birds and they would prepare them.
Oh, wow. And cook them over the wood fire and all that. Yeah. Shoot.
They would prepare them, man. They'd fix them up, and it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Food was excellent. The cabrito was very good.
Yeah.
That was los portales and los norteños.
No, that was it. I wouldn't go anyplace else.
Honestly. And nowadays, you have to really have a really good plate of cabrito.
Yeah.
You have to go to Arturo and Progreso.
Progreso, yeah.
Progreso.
Right, that's been around forever. Yeah, and it's a big joint too. It started out a little bit.
Very good.
Yeah.
Excellent food.
Yeah, the service. I remember the waiters. Man, the waiters that we used to see back in the old days they're top notch. And they would protect you.
Huh?
They would protect you too.
Yeah.
You know?
They take care of you.
Yeah. Sure.
Now, you see what I mean? The reminiscences of two old-timers it was classic in this interview between he and I. We just sat down and talked, and he really didn't know that the recorder was going. And we hit upon those particular spaces that we went through in that period of our lives. It was about a 10-year span. But it was quite something, quite memorable, and I hope you enjoyed it. Sadly enough, it is no longer there. Like all good things, they go their route, I guess. And I visited that site not long ago, and it looked like a ghost town, so to speak. Society has moved on, but that's another case. Apart from that nightclub scene, restaurant scene that was clustered around the old bridge, there was another area that was very dear to us, and it was called Mercado Juarez, the old market. Now I say the old market because it was in 1968 on Christmas Eve that this market burned down. It was quite a loss to the community because that particular building complex there goes back to the founding of Matamoros. You're talking about 1820s, 1830s. And I remember it as a child. I remember going through there, and when I say child, I was probably 8, 9, 10 years old, and seeing the old arches and the carniceria, the butcher shop that was there. It was rather graphic, but it was like something out of a Charles Dickens movie. It was beautiful. And of course, when that market burned down, then it was replaced by a modern structure, and it had everything in there. Like when my father got me a horse, where do you go? The market. to get a saddle. Beautiful leather goods and all of the trappings that went with it. And it was quite something. Anybody that came into town, we would take them to the market. They would want to go to the market because they would get the little trinkets and things that were very, very unique, very, very Mexico for them to take back to wherever they came from. Apart from the market, there were 2 restaurant curio shop complexes, actually 3, that were very, very important to us in those, what I say, the glory days were. The first one, of course, was Los Dos Repúblicas. It was right adjacent to the market. A very big complex, had everything in it. It was a class act by the Melguizos. And of course, when we would go to the market, we would, afterwards or before, we would go in there and either have something to eat or stop in the cocktail lounge and all of that. The second one is Garcia's, which is still there, thankfully. It's still there, which it is just like you're going to the market, a whole plethora of Mexican goods. They shop around. They have buyers that get quality goods for the interior Mexico, clothing and clay items and leather, you name it. And the third one is a temple in our memory, and that was the drive-in. It was a restaurant that actually started about the end of the Second World War, or maybe a little before that. And then it built itself up into a beautiful complex. I remember going in there again in my late adolescence with my father or with family or whatever. And it was just really a dining experience. It was elegant. They had the violins, they had the music. They had a little enclave over in the corner that was exotic birds like African crowned cranes, peacocks, and cockatoos and all of that. You see the picture? And the waiters were just impeccable. The drive-in, that is a beautiful, beautiful part of our memories of Matamoros. So there you have it, a beautiful niche in our memories that we wouldn't trade for the world. It was a period that now it's a bygone era, but it really helped us in getting out into the world as young people that we were at the time, and it was a part of our culture that was so beautiful. I'm very hopeful, actually, that something like that in terms of an entertainment center would possibly resurface for Matamoros. I have great hopes for Matamoros, and the love affair that I have for it is undying. And who knows, in the future, we may well see another Zona Rosa, and the rest is history. This segment, as well as those in this entire series, is brought to you exclusively by the Tipton Auto Group. They are very, very, I say the principals of that group are very, very cognizant of how important history is to us, not only here in South Texas, but to the people of the world. And I really appreciate their patronage on this. Thank you very, very much.